think I made him host. He disconnected everybody. I think I made Dave the host, and he kind of disconnected everyone.
Hey, I'm back. Can you hear me, Michelle?
I can hear you.
All right. So, did I end the call earlier by mistake?
Yes, you did, and you disconnected everyone.
All right. Let's see.
There are
Yeah,
people
can you do it
coming.
again?
Just give me a moment. Just don't
Make me
disconnect people.
come.
I'm gonna make you the host. Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you, you can actually share your screen
Sure.
now. Yeah. There you go.
Yes, I'm able to. Yes.
Yeah, I can see your screen now.
So, Dave, do you think we should get started or give it another few minutes for the people to join?
The video is still rendering.
Oh, I will play. I was just rendering for a sec. I have a decent internet connection here.
Yeah, your screen it looks pretty clear on my end, which is good.
I think we should get started. Maybe, Dave. We'll give it. What do you recommend?
Yeah, we can get started. We got about 30 plus people here, which is fine. Just want to welcome everybody. Let me open my camera so I can talk properly here. All right, just want to welcome everyone here. It's currently 10:09 a.m. and we are very, very excited actually because tomorrow is the launch day of this new unique project called Tag Protocol based in Binance Smart Chain and also NFT. And the gentleman that will be sharing this overview, how it works, what to do before getting started tomorrow. I have, I have met him through a friend, Wujik, who is my sponsor here. So Vishal has been in the blockchain industry for so many years and developed some blockchain wallets in the past, and he has done tremendous things in the blockchain in terms of developing. So he's really a developer, and we're just basically fortunate that he actually started this idea, in mind, and now it is actually, going live. And so this is something unique to offer to the public. NFT is now the trend in the blockchain space, and this is just the beginning. He will share with us, his, short-term, long-term vision, and of course, more importantly, how to get started tomorrow, what to prepare so we can actually be ready when when we officially starts tomorrow. So with that, I'm going to give the floor to the brain, the creator of this tag protocol, Vishal. Vishal, are you on the call?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
So yeah. So welcome
Perfect.
everybody. Thanks a lot for showing up. So this is the idea I've been envisioning for a while now, and really started with the back in 2012 when I first got introduced to blockchain and bitcoins. The idea that you could turn words into a real estate it was something that I was working with for a very long time. And I looked at various different business models and ideas, and it's been years since it's been playing on my mind. And finally, with the DeFi space taking up and the smart contract platforms and Ethereum, a lot of things became possible over time. And so we were able to put together a project and really bring this idea or the vision that I had to life. And Tag Protocol is a project that is realization of that idea that can you turn keywords or hashtags into a digital asset that people can own and can make a recurring income out of. So what I want to start off for you people is by playing a video through which which gives you a brief preview of what the project is about. And after the video, I would like to explain the vision and what we want to do with the project and how we want to take this project forward. So is everybody ready for the video? So it's a 2-minute, a 3-minute video, which gives us an overview about what the project is all about. And from
NFT, or non-fungible token. We have been hearing about them everywhere in the news recently. We have all heard about Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey selling his tweet for millions of dollars. What are these NFT tokens? Well, they are non-fungible tokens issued on the blockchain as a non-duplicable digital certificate for ownership of various digital assets. Businesses are issuing NFT for all kinds of things such as digital art, gaming avatars, sports videos, virtual land, and various other digital collectibles. Presently, valuation of these NFT are purely driven by supply and demand speculation. There is no performance data or measurement available other than supply and demand to assess the value of these NFT tokens. They are just like a painting hanging on the wall. At Tag Protocol, we are working to change this paradigm. We are building a new NFT token economic system with hashtags. We all use hashtags every day to organize and categorize content we post. Their performance and popularity can easily be measured on social media platforms. They are an indispensable part of the internet social economy. We are simply turning hashtags into NFT tokens, which you can register and own as a collectibles like any other NFT token. The process is as simple as registering a domain name. This is where the similarities between hashtag and other NFT tokens end, because hashtag NFT tokens are not just collectibles, but they can also be used to mine and collect Tagcoins, which is the native cryptocurrency of the Tag protocol. You simply have to deposit your hashtag NFT token into the tag staking contract. and start collecting tag coins on an hourly basis. How much tag coins you collect depends upon the performance and rank of your hashtag on the Twitter platform. Simply put, more tweets that use your hashtag, more tag coins you collect. This means different hashtags will have different staking earnings based upon their Twitter performance. The tag coins collected by the user can be traded for other cryptocurrencies on the tag exchange. Tag ecosystem provides two advantages. Owners can mine and collect tag coins every hour, while they hold onto their hashtag NFT tokens, and traders can evaluate the value of hashtag NFT tokens based upon tag coin they earn on daily, monthly, and yearly basis, hence leading to a better price discovery that is based upon potential earnings of a hashtag NFT token. We believe with performance-based NFT valuation we are adding another layer of innovation to the ever-growing NFT ecosystem. We welcome you to register your unique hashtag on the Tag Protocol and start collecting tag coins based on their Twitter performance. For more information, please visit our website www.
So that's a brief presentation of what the tag protocol is all about. Basically turning hashtags into NFT, and you could be using these hashtags to mine tag coins based on performance on the Twitter platform. Now, how we actually go about achieving this goal and how the system works. There's a graphic here which will give you a preview of how the system would eventually look like 90 days down the line. So for next 90 days, we are running a pre-sale where people can register hashtags. So this is the first part of the process, and of course we're also running our decentralized referral program along with it. uh, Hashtag registry and decentralized referral platform are the two first things which we're launching tomorrow, where people will be able to register their hashtags. After 90 days, we're going to open up the tax staking contract where people will be able to take their hashtags, put them in the staking contract and start earning tag coins. Now, how and when you earn tag coins depends on performance of your hashtag on the Twitter platform. How we evaluate that is basically, we look at a larger structure on top. We have Oracle system that we are working on right now, using a side chain and something which is similar to a chain link project. If I don't know if any
Hey,
of you.
Vishal,
Yes.
when you increase your volume, people are a little bit hard, having a hard time hearing.
Mhm.
Maybe your volume on your PC or something like that, or your
do I
microphone.
do I need to increase the volume or decrease the volume?
Increase up.
Is this much better if I hold the mic closer to my mouth?
Yes, I
Yes.
have big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So effectively, we are starting off with registry and the exchange tomorrow. The decentralized referral program tomorrow, where you'll be able to register unique hashtags. Now, what is the importance of getting hashtags is because the amount of tag coins you will make is completely dependent on how your hashtag performs on the Twitter platform. What we simply do is we take the count of the tweet. So, for example, if you purchase a hashtag, for example, Bitcoin, and in a hourly cycle, let's say people on Twitter applied hashtag Bitcoin on a particular tweet, let's say 5,000 times, so you accumulated 5,000 points. Now similarly, somebody must have purchased Ethereum, somebody must have purchased Litecoin or some different hashtags. Based on the tweet count, we are able to rank these hashtags from rank. Let's say if we sold 1,000 hashtags, people put 1,000 hashtags for staking, we are able to rank the hashtags from rank 1 to rank 1,000. Now, what we simply do is we divide this 1,000 by the 1,000 tag coins, which are available every hour, and we do a simple median math, which in this case would be 1. Now, we take this calculation of 1 and we apply a bell curve on it. So what will happen in this case is the top 50 performing hashtags will get 1.5 tag coins, and the bottom 50 performing hashtags will get 0.5 tag coins. Now, reason we apply bell curve is because on Twitter, the performance of hashtags can be very lopsided. Some top performing hashtags could have 1 million tweets a day, and some not so well performing hashtags can even end up with maybe 10 or 15 tweets a day. Now, what we don't want to do is create a disparity in income between people, because hashtags, there has to be some level of parity and equitable distribution, because we don't want a situation where people who cannot buy the top hashtags do not make any income, and the people who come in later, they have a disadvantage, which is lopsided. So what we've essentially done is using the Oracle system, we're able to rank all the hashtags that we have sold to people, and these hashtags then get ranked according to their performance, and then applying the bell curve, we are able to basically make a distribution which is more fair, which is more like 70-30. The top 50% get 70% of the tag coins, and the bottom 50% get 30% of the tag coins. So that, I mean, that's a broad explanation in terms of how we calculate the earnings on hashtags. Now, to move further, we're also building our own hashtag marketplace. And once you are able to identify, for sake of argument, that let's say I bought Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is generating let's say 10 tag coins a year, and the value of tag coin is $100. So effectively you could say Bitcoin as a hashtag can earn up to $1,000 a year. Now, based on that evaluation, people can now start trading hashtags on an auction marketplace, which based on performance. So for example, for me, if 10% return on investment is a good idea, so maybe I can make an offer of $10,000 for a particular hashtag. So the idea really being that the NFT is a very strong growing market, but the fundamental problem I see with the NFT market is it's completely based on assessment and assumption. So this is like selling art, and two problems that we have with art is art markets are high value but low liquidity, and it's very difficult to assess value of existing hashtags. So for example, if you look at the Twitter situation where Jack Dorsey ends up selling his tweet as an NFT, which sells for about $2.8 million. Now, whoever purchased this particular NFT, there is no guarantee in future that A, he doesn't make any recurring income on that NFT, and B, he's dependent on the larger buyer who might maybe consider buying it for 3 million or even 2 million. So he's not going to be able to find a buyer immediately, because there is no way to assess performance of art driven NFTs or assumption driven NFTs. So the reason we call it performance or data driven NFT fundamentally is because we're able to evaluate to the point that what is the performance of a particular NFT, hashtag NFT, and you're able to make bids and offer based on the performance. So our assessment is, based on this logic, the liquidity and the price discovery of a hashtag will be more fair, and people will be able to trade this in a more efficient manner. Now, with the staking contract, we're working on amazing tokenomics. So I mean, if we just go back here with tag coins, so this is the current supply, and how we do. So currently, year one, we will be distributing 1,000 tag coins per hour, which will reduce to 500 on the second year, and 250 in the third year, and 125 in the fourth, and 62.5 in the fifth year. Now, why this is important is we want a deflationary supply, because as more people buy more hashtag and start staking more hashtags, the supply per hour will keep reducing. That ensures that there is always squeeze on the supply of Tagcoin, and gives people incentive to trade them more. Furthermore, there are further incentives that we're building onto the system. So we're building tag exchange, for example, where people can trade tag coins with each other. We don't really want to depend on third-party platforms like Binance or Huobi to begin with, because I personally firmly believe that the project must have a value of its own and be able to build and garner community of its own. And as that community grows, there is a greater incentive, and as we hit the larger markets, it should lead to value growth, not value diminishing. Because if we build a project which is completely dependent on listing on an exchange, what typically tends to happen is, the day one, when a particular coin gets listed on the exchange, most people are dumping that coin rather than buying that coin, because people see exchange listing as the opportunity to get out. Whereas my belief is that when something lists on exchange, it should be opportunity for new investors to get in. So that being the philosophy, hence the idea being we build our own swap where people, and we liquidate our own swap, so that our people can trade tag coins with freedom, with against BNB token, against BUSD token, and we can keep adding to the list as we grow. Now, coming back to the tokenomics aspect, the 1,000 tokens that get generated every hour, they're divided in this ratio. So the staking pool, the people who are staking hashtag, they get 80% of the yield, which is approximately 800 tag coins. The liquidity providers who provide liquidity to our exchange will get 5% of the share. The hashtag performance oracles, because phase one, we are going to be setting up oracles only by the company. And the plan is maybe 4 to 5 months down the line, we will make oracles available to public, which basically means you could just set up, there is a piece of software which you need to install on your machine, connect to the network, and you can become an oracle yourself. And 5% of all the tokens that get generated, they're given as incentive for oracles to perform the task of collecting data from Twitter. Because one of the key things for us was that, when we collect this data from Twitter, it needs to be decentralized. We do not want to build any kind of centralization into system or build any dependencies. So by creating a performance oracle system which has a simplified task of collecting information from Twitter and ranking hashtags, now once oracles perform their job of collecting and ranking hashtags, they pass this information down to tag chain validators. Now tag chain is a side chain that we are creating purely for the purpose of computation. Now, the job of tag chain is to collect this information from oracles and apply the bell curve. Because the problem being, if we try and apply the bell curve calculation on the Binance chain, we consume a lot of resources. It can be a very, very expensive process. So to save that cost and computation, we build our own chain. So deciding how much tag coin that each of these hashtags are owed to, the computation is conducted by the tag chain, and anybody can participate as a validator and become a validator on the tag chain. And for that, they have an incentive of 5%. So the 5% of the tag coins that get minted every hour are given to validators for their job. And other 5%, we've created a pool for Tag Foundation. So typically most projects will pre-mine tokens for founders. So we strongly believe that a founder share shouldn't be a very large portion of any coin, because it kind of destroys the coin. And second, there has to be a vesting period. There is no point, even if it's 1%, 5%, or 15%, part of the founder shares typically just go to the founders and they dump it onto the market and they try to control the market. So you want to keep it more fair. So what we're doing is we're creating a tag foundation, which fundamentally is the system. This is the means through which we fund all the development and operations in long term. So because you can imagine, it's a large ecosystem that we're trying to build. We're going to have hire more and more developers, deploy more and more server architecture and infrastructure, to support the demand. So this ensures that there is always money available to sustain the infrastructure and pay for people. So the 5%, but again, like I said, we are not pre-mining it. We have confidence. We believe as we go along, this will keep going further. Furthermore, we are pre-mining 1 million tag coins to begin with, and the distribution is predefined here. 100,000 of these tag coins will be added to liquidity pool on day one when we launch, because the liquidity pools need some tokens inside, to kickstart them. So we use 100 of these 1 million tokens to kickstart the liquidity pools. uh, 400,000 tag coins, we put it as a development fund, because by the time the system matures, there might be need for increased capital right up front. And then we're earmarking another 500,000 tag coins for the purpose of marketing and promotions, because phase one, we want to build the first community, and phase two, maybe 3 months, 4 months down the line, we could create some incentive plans for people to buy hashtags, because because success of the project, in my belief, in our belief in general, will be based on how many community members are we able to attract. So any project, as we develop the community and build a larger community, the value growth is exponential, and that's a basic thesis of it. So that's where we are at with the tag coin distribution aspect of it. Now hashtags, of course, they are unique. One of the key features of hashtag, which I think people need to keep in mind, is so registry. So one of the key features is that we create a distinction between, for example, Bitcoin in small caps, Bitcoin with capital B, and Bitcoin in caps. So when you're registering your hashtags, please do keep in mind that these things matter, because Twitter itself, people will apply hashtags in different connotations and variations. So if you end up registering Bitcoin, for instance, and somebody registered Bitcoin and somebody registered Bitcoin in all caps, these will be counted as a separate hashtag with separate values, because we're able to fetch values from Twitter for each of these different variations. in a unique, in a different way. So do bear that in mind when you're registering your hashtags, because one word could have three different connotations. The auction process is pretty simple. We're going to create an auction contract where, once you buy your hashtag, they'll be sitting in your wallet. Now, if you do wish to sell your hashtags in an open market, you can go make a listing on the market, and then other people will be able to make bids on your hashtag. And then what we're also creating is a decentralized settlement system, which basically operates like an escrow account. So for instance, I deposit my hashtag Bitcoin and I put up a price of, let's say, 500 dollars to it, and Dave decides to accept that offer. So Dave has to deposit that $500 into the contract, and once that happens, contract will send my hashtag to Dave and send $500 to my wallet. So trying to automate all the processes and keep everything decentralized, because objective being, we don't want any human intervention in any of the processes or any of the settlements throughout the system. Now, last but not the least, we are building a referral program. So the idea is that how do we garner a larger community, and can we incentivize the community? So the primary objective being, through the sales of hashtag, the objective is to build a larger community, not really make money. So for that reason, we thought that, since there is no real marginal cost to, selling a hashtag, why not give away 60% of the money to the community and incentivize people to, build a larger community. So if you see here, there is a chart which defines the targets that you have to achieve to reach a certain level of rank. And as you sell more hashtags to other people, your rank increases, plus your commission or referral commission that you earn on selling hashtag to your friends and people that you want to sell to, that increases over time. So, by default, everybody starts at rank 1, where they make 25% commission. If you sell 10 hashtags, you reach rank 2 and you start making 30% commission. If you sell up to 100,000 hashtags, uh, Dave, I think you need to approve some people to join.
Yeah.
Are you
We're good.
Yeah. So anyway, so as you sell 100,000 hashtags, you start earning up to 60%. Now, what we do is we incentivize people further. For example, if you were able to perform really well and you sold, let's say, 10,000 hashtags and achieve rank 7, the new people that join under you, they start at rank 1 and they're making 25%. So at rank 7, you're making 52.5%. And somebody new who's starting off at 25%. So there is a gap of 27.5%. So that effectively creates an indirect income for you. So as your ranks rise and the new people come under you and start at rank 1, the difference between their rank and your rank effectively starts turning into additional income for yourself. So we, on our Git book, we provide a chart which gives you a good explanation of, for example, if I was at rank 10 making 60%, and I had a referral who was operating at level 1, in that case I make 35%. If my referrer, person referred and further sold it to somebody, if they were at rank 2, I would make 30%, so on, so forth. So you could very well refer to this chart, and it will give you a decent explanation of how the referral system works. There's further explanation explaining the same thing. If my rank was 1 and the other person I referred to was also at rank 1, and they further refer another person, because my rank and my referral rank is the same, and when they make a new referral, I end up making no commission. But if my rank was 6 and the person I referred to was rank 1 and they made a new sale, the difference of 25% comes back to me. So that creates an additional residual income for me from that perspective. So broadly speaking, this is a system that we have envisioned so far, but there are other possibilities as well. So data on the internet is widely available, and one of the key aspects of it is, hashtag registry works independent of everything. So once we have established a hashtag registry, people are right now staking, you'll be using your hashtags to stake tag coins, but we are also envisioning a system in the future where other protocols who wish to give their tokens away, or find a community, can attach to our staking contract, and start giving out tokens to our users as well. And for that, we'll probably set up a system where we're going to ask them, maybe where their contract can connect with our contract, and they need to deposit maybe X amount of tag coins for participation. And they, so the idea being that you can start creating different word pools. So right now we are starting off, let's say, with Twitter. where we're assessing performance of hashtag on Twitter. But for example, there's a website called Flight Stats, where I can take unique ID of every airline on the planet and then track arrival and departure time. Now based on expected time and unexpected time, I could create another contract which has universe of maybe 20 or 30,000 hashtags or keywords, and based on performance of that airline in terms of how accurate they were in landing on how much time they missed, we could create another value matrix. We could create another word universe for, let's say, football. So I mean, maybe a word like Ronaldo performs very well on moderately on Twitter, but maybe if we created a word pool based on just soccer or football, a word like Ronaldo could become even more valuable there. So idea really being, the long-term vision of the project is to create different data buckets and word universes where people can use their hashtag to participate and see where they can extract maximum value from. So hopefully what that will lead to is, as we grow as an ecosystem over time, more people can join, people can buy more hashtags, and we end up building a larger community and incentive model. And at the heart of all of it would be the Tagcoin, because the governance structures, the validator structures, the oracle structures, the fundamental core architecture of the entire ecosystem will still operate with Tagcoin, even if people introduce other coins. So I mean, that's a broad vision of the project in long term. Idea being that so we've put up a roadmap for you guys. So we're launching pre-sales, that is tomorrow, 22nd, on the 22nd, on 22nd of July, we'll be launching the Tagcoin staking pool and the performance oracles. And in August, on the August 22nd, we'll be launching Tagcoin exchange and hashtag marketplace. So that's where we are at in terms of roadmap project. And yes, so I mean, that's broadly what the project and the idea is. I'm happy to for any of you have any questions or any specific things that you wish, like you wish to ask or understand, I'll be happy to answer those questions.
Thanks, Vishal, for that explanation. I'm really excited about this. I guess my question, Vishal, and on behalf of everyone here. So, and also the agenda of your Zoom meeting, you said there what to do before getting started. Is that something that you want to tackle, or what to do, what to have, what to in order for us to
So,
be ready for
so
tomorrow?
I think for participation, because we're building a decentralized platform, you're going to have to buy a BNB token from exchange. So there are multiple exchanges. All of you come from different countries. So I'm assuming there will be a prime or a good exchange where you already have an account. So step one would be to go and purchase some BNB tokens. Now, the one thing you need to keep in mind is that the price of cryptocurrency is fluctuating all the time. And the way our contract works, that at the time of transaction, using the Chainlink API, we are able to evaluate the exact amount of BNB needed for to make $200 in good. So we always recommend that you have some, maybe I mean, if you're looking to buy one hashtag and the price is $200, let's say at current conversion, let's say it's 4.4 BNB. It's always good to buy 4.45 BNB just to accommodate for the fluctuations in the market, so that you don't get stuck up and don't lose out on your hashtag that you're looking to buy. Step two is to download a DApp wallet. So a DApp wallet is typically something that you use to connect to a DApp. So what happens is, in a traditional sense, like if you access Facebook, Facebook would provide you a username and a password, and whenever you want to access Facebook, you will authenticate yourself through the Facebook servers, and that way, Facebook can grab a lot of your information. But with decentralized applications, we've found a different mechanism. We're able to authenticate your wallets directly through a DApp wallet. So what that really happens is, when you visit the website and you click on the button connect, the message goes down to your wallet, and your wallet authenticates your existence, and we get a call back, and we understand, okay, we're dealing what wallet we are dealing with, and then you're able to settle all the transactions. So DApp wallet, there are multiple choices. We've published a list on our, just to give you a good idea in terms of what are the DApp wallets you could use. So we've set up a before you start section on our Git book, and if you wish, you could refer to it. So step one is to download the wallet, purchase some BNB. You send your BNB to the DApp wallet. So here is the list of, I think, the recommended apps that we have put out. So if you're using a web browser, you can download a MetaMask extension, a Binance Smart Chain extension, or a Math Wallet extension. But if you are going to use Android phone, you could be downloading MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Token Pocket, SafePal, Math Wallet. With MetaMask, keep in mind it's slightly more tedious because you have to add the Binance Chain network manually, and there are a couple of good resources on the internet which allow you to do so. But if that's too difficult for you, and if you're relatively new, I recommend that you use Trust Wallet or Token Pocket or SafePal, one of these wallets, because they're already integrated with Binance Chain. All you have to do is go to the exchange, purchase your PNB, or, send them to your Trust Wallet or Token Pocket wallet or SafePal wallet, and you will see the balance right there. After that, if you're an iOS user, it's pretty much the same thing. You can download MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Token Pocket, or SafePal, and you're pretty much ready and set to go. Now, once you end up with that process, I've published a small video of how to connect with the DApp per se. So we just look at how typically the registration process works.
How to register on Tag Protocol. Open www.tagprotocol.com in your web or app browser. Click on Launch App button. Select and click on wallet you wish to connect with. Your wallet will ask for authentication. Click on Connect to authenticate your wallet. Please enter referral address provided by your friend. It is mandatory. Click on Submit after entering your referral address. You are on your way. Welcome to Tag Protocol app dashboard.
As you can see, it's a pretty simplified process from there on. Once you have your MetaMask extension, one of these things, it's pretty much is
After watching Wayne Sue happens. Yeah,
sorry.
guys.
Sorry about that. So once you have your MetaMask set up and you have your BNB balance, from there it's a pretty easy walkthrough process, and the website it's pretty easy. It will really help you walk through the whole process.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Right. So you're saying that there is a 1,000 token distributing every 1 hour, yes?
Correct.
If let's say that there is going to be 1,000 people, just for example, it's one coin each.
Yes.
If it's going to be 100,000 people, it's going to be 0.0.1, yes?
Correct.
Okay. And that,
So it's not, so the system is not really evaluating number of people. The system is evaluating number of hashtags. So I would just bear that in mind. So I mean, as the number of people hashtags increase, so does the distributions, because the system doesn't calculate number of users, it calculates number of hashtags. Just bear that in mind.
Yes. So it's like, let's say each person have one hashtag, yes, or 10 hashtags.
Correct.
Okay, and then so all this data is going from the Twitter.
So it's the data is already there on the Twitter. So we are setting up an Oracle system to fetch that data from the Twitter. So we have two choices to fetch that information from the Twitter. One is we could set up a company server, put in the Twitter API, and start fetching all the information ourselves. But what that would lead to is a central point of failure, right? So if tomorrow Twitter decides to ban a particular IP, it could have disruption in services. How we circumvent that problem is by setting up multiple oracles, and we allow people also to become oracles. So anybody who has a Twitter account, they simply take their Twitter API, put it into our the package that we will create for data mining. Think of it as a software that you install on your computer. You just have to put in your wallet address, deposit some Tagcoins, put in your Twitter API, and you started data mining yourself. And because there could be 50, 100, 200 people or even 1,000 people mining that data, there is no one point of failure. So that's the objectivity of creating the Oracle system.
Right, but it's like for everybody, they don't have to have a Twitter account, isn't it?
No.
It's only the buying the hashtag from
Correct.
there.
Yes, because yes, you don't have to have a Twitter account to participate, but I mean, if you had a Twitter account, hopefully it helps you make better research in terms of hashtags you pick and maybe pick trends. Because you have to bear in mind with hashtags, there is another thing, right? So there are some hashtags which are very seasonal, but they garner big numbers in a limited amount of time. So I mean, a Twitter account would help in terms of research.
Right. My last question is like regarding the money distribution, because 60% is going into the network, right?
Correct.
20% is staying in the company.
Yes.
I mean, like 555, and then 20% is going to liquidity, or how is it?
So the funds that we are collecting through the process, most of it is going to be used for, to fund the liquidity pools and the development, most of it. And plus, because the server costs are pretty humongous, because when
Of course.
with the amount of data that we are accumulating, we're running a large, I mean, as the user base grows, the server bills are going to rise. I mean, that's the single biggest concern in terms of, keeping the infrastructure going. In terms of expenditure, I think that's even higher than the development itself.
Okay, and what is the percentage that's going to go directly into the liquidity that will hold the price? Because that's
So
like
at the beginning we earmarked about 5%, but I think we can it's fluid, right? So we'll see the market, the demand, and if we need further support, I mean, like I said, we can. It's something which is fluid, but we'll probably start off with 5%.
5% from total money that's coming in is going to liquidity.
So 5% of the total collection. So that with
Okay.
Hi Vishal, this is Manzoor. Can you hear me?
yeah, Mansoor, tell me.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
One is, does the referral commission hit into our wallets immediately? So, for instance,
No, the referral part works pretty simple. So for example, I used your referral address and purchased a hashtag for sake of
right,
argument. Now, in this case, I would have paid that money to the contract, right? So all the money that is being collected goes directly into the contract, and the contract auto evaluates. For example, if I pay $200 and let's say you are at level 10 and you need to get 60% commission, the contract will make note of that, and you can claim that 60% from the contract instantaneously at your will. So it's a claims-based process. It's not an auto debit process.
okay. So, which means if let's say my team sales happen to be say $2,000 on
Yeah.
day one,
Yes.
and I make 25%, I have to claim that, or I can do that tomorrow itself, is what you say.
You can claim it whenever. You can
And
claim it at will. The moment the sales happens, the money is already in the contract, so you can claim it the very next second.
and how does one claim that?
So if you okay, so you have a I can't show you the interface just yet because it's going to be revealed tomorrow. But typically, what's going to happen is there is an accounts information page on the application. Right at the
Okay.
bottom of the page, you have a button which is called Claim button. If you press
Okay.
that button, it will fire your DApp wallet, and you just have to approve. And I think within 10 seconds, as the blockchain approves, the money will come back to your wallet.
Okay, super. My second question is that we starting the staking only from July onwards, correct?
Correct.
So
That is
are
correct.
we taking into consideration the performance of the hashtag from tomorrow till between July? Are we?
No, it will be
No, we're
live.
not.
It's on daily. It's not even daily. It's hourly basis. So we only consider
Okay.
performance on an hourly basis.
So we will start that only from July onwards and not anything before that.
Correct. That is absolutely correct.
Okay. All right.
The reason
Cool.
we are delaying the staking process is because we want a more equitable distribution. So for example, in next 3 months, we are able to build community of 15, 20, 30, 40,000 people and,
Sure.
hashtag owners. And when, the staking starts, we want a more varied distribution, because there were two choices for us. We could have probably waited a little while and started sales with the system in place. Now, what that would have
Right.
led to is the early adopters would have had a lopsided advantage in terms of accumulation of Tagcoin. Now,
That's correct.
we believe that's not really it's not an ideal situation for the price discovery.
There's one more thing with respect to the buying of hashtag. Do we have an option of searching for it, or does the system throw the availability of the hashtags on the website? How is it?
So
I
it's
mean, can I search for one,
it's
and if it's available and buy or
yes,
something
it's
like that?
exactly similar to how you buy domain names. The process is nothing
Same,
different.
right?
It's
Okay. All
exactly
right.
the same. So you're going to search for a particular hashtag, and the system will simply tell you available or not available.
Super. All right. Thanks, yeah.
Sure, you're welcome.
Vishal, how do you determine the price of each hashtag?
So the determination, like we said earlier, the hashtag is effectively, to use an analogy, think of hashtag as a mining machine. So effectively, when you buy a hashtag, based on the performance, is mining X or Y amount of tag coins, and the tag coins would have a X or Y amount of value on the market. So for sake of example, you purchase the hashtag Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is generating, let's say, 10 tag coins a year for you in yield, and the value of tag coin, let's say, is $100, so that would be $1,000 a year, just as an example. Now, in this situation, it really, I mean, that's a yield that the hashtag is generating. That's public information, and everybody, we can track which hashtags are making more yield and less yield. And of course, we'll be as the system starts, we'll be able to publish performance chart of all these hashtags, and you'll be able to see daily income charts. Now, based on that assessment, I think the traders will be able to make because we can't have a defined value for a hashtag, but we're giving you basis to define a value of a hashtag.
So for instance, when we are buying tomorrow, right, what determines the value of the hashtag? Because we don't have those reports in front of us.
So right now, it's arbitrary value. The $200 right now, as we see, is an arbitrary value, but it's based on a larger tokenomic sense that, if we get X number of users, so we evaluate the value of a token based on exponential growth over next 18 to 24 months. So, what could be the value at 10,000 users? What could be the value at 25,000 users? What could be the value at 50, 100, 200, so on and so forth. So, of course, when you're buying this hashtag, you're taking a risk. So in terms of, you believing the idea that, we will be able to build a larger community and we will garner value in long term.
Yeah. The next question is, can people buy the same hashtag?
No.
Two people, they can't, right?
So typically what happens is every hashtag that you enter, it gets turned into a unique hash. And if the two hashes match, you cannot, the contract will reject it immediately. So every hashtag has a unique hash. So if I buy Bitcoin with the small caps, it will have a unique hash. If I buy Bitcoin with capital B, that will have another hash. So we don't actually look at the words in terms of technology. We're able to match hashes, and if the hashes match, the system will reject the transaction.
So it's first come, first serve tomorrow.
Yes. That's the idea. No, but I think that's fair, right? I mean, the early adopters should have some advantage, but we want to create a fair advantage, not a lopsided advantage.
But who gets access to the platform tomorrow first?
So we'll open it up together. So hopefully at 6 o'clock, we will have set up everything, and we'll just open the system. And hopefully the people we are working with, they will start sharing the referral IDs.
Will we able to see the already sold hashtags somewhere?
So the good thing is everything is transparent, right? So the contracts are public. So any transaction that happens on the contract, you'll be able to see it. Okay.
This is going to be 6 in the morning tomorrow?
No, 6 p.m. Dubai time tomorrow. So that would be
okay, about
10 a.m. Eastern, same time we started this webinar.
Yes.
So 7:30 India. All right.
Yeah, so I think tomorrow we plan to do another, welcome event tomorrow. Maybe at tomorrow 6 we can do another Zoom call, and as we launch the system, so that everybody can be together and we hopefully handhold each other and just share ideas.
Is there a cap that one person can purchase? Like, is there a cap?
There is no cap on what you can purchase. You can purchase. I mean, technically we can't put caps on the blockchain. Blockchain is the permissionless, right? So we can't really control that.
Awesome.
Dave, if you get in early, leave some for us.
I'm going to register Tag Protocol, right, Vishal?
I've already made a public announcement before. I mean, when I open the system, that's the first hashtag I'm buying for myself. And I'm buying only one. I will be buying only one.
The funny thing,
I will be buying only one, and that's going to be Tagprotocol.
Vishal, I hope you just stick to one of it and not more.
I'm just, the good thing is this, right? You can hold me to it because you'll be able to verify that on the blockchain.
I'm sure.
Vishal, these hashtags that you provide in the system, right? Like how does that work? Like, how do you put hashtags in here? Depending on the trend, or like?
Can you repeat that question? I don't think I've
understood the hashtags that we are allowed to purchase through the system, right?
Yes.
Who brings the hashtags to the table?
So the hashtag is basically, we're simply creating a registry on Binance Smart Chain, right? So what you're doing is, through the process of discovering a new word, you are bringing it into the system yourself. So for example, if I decided to buy Vishal as a hashtag, so I've created
Vishal, I understand that now.
And so it creates a unique hash for Vishal, and that hash gets saved on a registry on the blockchain. It's exactly like ICANN, right? How ICANN maintains a directory of all the domains sold on the planet. So we're creating a contract which will basically maintain registry of all the hashtags sold on the planet.
So, Han,
Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy at the first hour. So, what I recommend you, if you want to buy 10 hashtag, prepare 100 of them, because if 10 is not gonna work, then you can use another
Abs-
one. You
No,
know?
no, no.
So,
This is what I was
so
thinking. Right? I create my
Eric,
own
you
hashtag and get people to go do so many tweets.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's true.
You just don't ask me for recommendations, because even as I'm as lost as all of you. So I mean,
Yeah. Look, I love the concept, man. I love it. You know, it's something
it's
new.
the idea is really right. At the fulcrum of it, the idea is, can you create virtual assets which are defined by data and value, not notion? Because I think I believe in long term, we have a lot of products in the market currently which are operating purely out of notion. Now that's why you have a huge up and down cycle, and there is no incentive for people to really sit on those investments. So am a fundamental believer, right? The best investments are the ones you want to take it to your grave, right? I mean, you buy a real estate, you buy a house, you typically take your house to the grave. I mean, very few people actually end up selling a house. So it's a belief in something is valuable, and that will create recurring value in your life. So with hashtags, I believe we might be able to accomplish that goal, that hashtags are something that you can own forever. You can probably gift it to your children, something that's going to remain as an asset that you can cherish and use for a very long time. So that, because with cryptocurrencies, a lot of these projects, it's about putting $100, making $200, and just getting out. There is no affinity to the product. So for me, it's very important that you create an asset which has a people and investors and traders have affinity to the product. For me, that's very important. So I
I will
believe
ask you as the question regarding the mining. How long the mining is gonna exist? With
perpetually.
the halving, have you calculated?
So yes, I'll just show you. So if you again go back to the Tagcoin tokenomics, so on the 5th year, we capped it at 62.5 tag coins per hour. So that's going to be perpetual. So at that point, if you notice that the total circulating supply of tag coin would be about 16.7, approximately 17 million. And at this point, we're only having inflation of 3.33%. Now, as it adds up, the inflation will go down to 2%, 1.5% over years. But
So 5 years mining.
no, 5 years, till 5 years, there is depreciation. From the 6th year, it will be static at 62.5 per hour.
Okay, and in total, how many years it's gonna be mining?
Perpetual. Forever.
Wow, what do you mean forever? Okay, so it's
Unlimited supply.
gonna go. So it's
But
gonna be
see-
more and more coins. So there is no total supply.
But see, we've curtailed it, right? Because once you cap it at 62.5, no, you already see the inflation is at 3.33%. Now, if you
Okay.
remember, Ethereum was inflation 8% at the beginning, and over time the inflation has gone down, down, down. So the inflation per annum will go down to less than 1% in 15, 20 years.
I get you. So there is
Because there's a fundamental challenge here, right, with the project, that we can't make hashtags redundant ever, because hashtags are an asset that are supposed to produce yield for a lifetime.
Okay, so from my understanding, is like after the 6 years, we're gonna have still 500,000 coins, and the 7 year 500,000 coins, and it's like this, yes?
So the yearly production is 547,500, right? So this will get produced every year forever. But like I said, on a larger scheme of things, that's a very small percentage.
It's gonna be huge. I'm so excited.
I mean, I'm glad.
Yeah, every year is gonna have. There's gonna be a halving.
So for me, the real challenge is now putting the vision to work. So I think I'm more happy. I mean, I love doing events with all of you people. I don't have a big experience for doing a lot of events. I love listening to all of you guys. But I think me personally, I'm happiest when I'm sitting on computer and doing some work. Because for me, it's the challenge. The thrill that I want to get this done, and these are the goals we want to accomplish. That really gets me excited, and seeing all of you guys coming here and talking about this makes me even more excited about the work.
Hey,
Charles,
Vishal,
this
there's a question in the chat.
Yes.
Anthony, he said, "How will this system not be copied, or is this asset unique?" Of course,
So we are
go
unique.
ahead.
We're unique for now. Of course, anybody can copy this system. People can copy Uniswap also. So I mean, because that's a challenge with decentralization. Now, how you can circumvent that problem typically is that if you establish a registry which is dominant from day one, and you have a lot of user traction. It's like why Facebook or Instagram is dominant in the tech space, because they were the first movers. So typically you're counting on the first mover advantage, but as far as your question, can somebody copy it? They can copy it on day one if they wish to, because I mean, you make all the codes and structure public. But of course, there is a larger ecosystem here with the staking and Oracle systems. So I don't think somebody can replicate the entire system overnight, because there is a lot of technology that we haven't, you're not going to make public instantaneously. It's probably going to be, made public over 3 months, 6 months, 8 months. So, to catch up with the entire ecosystem, it's not an easy task. I mean, it's not an easy build. So hopefully what we are counting on is that, if you have the first mover advantage and we're able to establish this registry as a dominant registry, there shouldn't be much that gives us another advantage, right? Once we do establish ourselves as a dominant registry, any other project, any other innovation can be incorporated into our ecosystem immediately. So that gives us a competitive advantage, because if you build the first registry which is dominant, and any new ideas that come into the market, they get plugged into our system immediately. And plus we are creating open protocols so that other ideas can integrate into our system anyway.
Sounds good.
Vishal, Manzoor here again.
Yeah, Manzoor.
I'm sure this must be a question that many would have asked.
Sure.
Considering the other platforms like Instagram, Facebook, etc.,
Yes.
to analyze the performance of the hashtag,
Yes.
do you think it's deliberately not done now because of the whole tokenomics?
So I tell you the primary reason we like Twitter over other platforms is because Twitter has a push-based mechanism. So I just have to listen to Twitter. So there is not much hindrance. Where,
Okay.
as far as the API of Instagram, Facebook are concerned, they're pull-based APIs. So I have to pull data from these, and that essentially means they can block us anytime. And I mean, ideally there is no reason for them to block us, but Twitter works on an open architecture where it's basically broadcasting all the information. You just have to set up a listener and you start collecting all the data. So because they're push based, so it makes it much easier for us to work with. I mean, that was one of the primary motivations of working with Twitter to begin with.
All right, but you think you're going to inculcate the others as well at some point in time, or?
Yes, that's the idea. So like I said, we can end up creating different word universes. So one could be a social media protocol, another could be airline, football, cricket, I mean, politics. There are, because see, understand, all the information on the internet, it's driving, finding meaning through words. So I mean, even if you take something like a Google or a search engine, we could track how many times a particular hashtag was searched. So there are so many different matrix that you could operate on. It's just endless. So the idea being, we want to create a more fluid structure so that all these ideas can be incorporated into the protocol over a period of time.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Vishal, there's a question in the chat. If someone registered, an example, hashtag Donald Trump, will that be considered an IP violation?
I mean, if I were living in America, that would be very controversial. Luckily, I'm not American, so I don't really care.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I guess
let's
you can
leave it at that. So I mean,
I guess you can do that, Felipe. I think you can.
so good thing is that
That's a good one though. That's supposed to be secret, right?
I tell you what, the good point is this: it's not my decision to make, because, like I said, over 6 to 8 months, the idea is to build a robust governance structures, and all of these issues can be handled by the community themselves, right? So I mean, just makes my life much easier. So I don't have to make those choices. The idea is I shouldn't be making any choices. It's people who are supposed to be making choices, and I'm just supposed to be the worker who builds those tools to enable people.
That's true. All right, folks. Any more questions?
One more question, Vishal. One more question, Dave. Vishal, worst case scenario, if something happens to Twitter, or they change their API to pull instead of push, or whatever you said, right? What's going to happen then?
Highly
How
unlikely.
Are you gonna work around that?
Highly unlikely, because I mean, for Twitter to do that, there has to be a huge shift on the Twitter architect. I mean, it's not I mean, it sounds pretty simple, but it's not so simple for a company like Twitter to do so. But like I said, we're going to keep incorporating other ideas over a period of time. So you're starting off with Twitter, but that's not the end. Yeah. That's where we're beginning.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, you have other platforms coming up right now. You have a lot of decentralized social media platforms that are coming up. Some of them are getting traction now, so there's nothing stopping us from incorporating them also, as time goes by.
Yeah.
So
Perfect, brother.
Vishal,
Thank you very much
tomorrow
for
is
the
the
call.
Zoom at 10 a.m. Is that also the time, or are we gonna launch the system? Are you launching the system at 10 a.m. or is it after that 10 a.m.
So
webinar?
it's 6 p.m. Dubai time. So I think GMT would be, I'm a bit lost, sorry.
It's 2 p.m. GMT. Yeah,
2 p.m. GMT, correct.
yeah, 10 a.m. my time and Eastern time, and then so is that gonna be live tomorrow as well when we go in Zoom tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that would be nice, right? So all of us can be on the Zoom together and,
Okay.
I can see all of
Hopefully
you
it's not chaotic, but we are all excited.
guys. But hopefully this doesn't turn into a hashtag war.
Sean,
Is-
be
is-
ready, Sean.
Okay.
Come again, sorry?
Be ready for the war tomorrow, Sean.
You know
He
I'm
said,
always
I think
ready.
he's saying be ready for the war tomorrow.
Is there any kind of protected name copyright on hashtag?
Nothing, everything is open. It's a decentralized issue. We don't have control over it. We don't wish to have control over it.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of non-regulation, right? I mean, coming from the Bitcoin blockchain, things, belief is that people are good enough to make decisions on their own. So I don't think you have to treat people like children and make decisions for them.
All right, sounds good. I guess our homework, everyone, is to write down some hashtag on your notepad and get ready for tomorrow. Buy your BNB and let's rock and roll.
Yo, man.
Yeah. So
And
thanks
just
a
get
lot.
back to the person that invited you. Make sure you're all coordinated with your group, and that way we will have a smooth registration process tomorrow. Sounds good, guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the Telegram.
you.
And if you're in my group, I have a Facebook group that I constantly update as well, called Multi-Income Stream. So I'll see you guys on Telegram, and maybe Vishal will have its own Tag Protocol Facebook group someday. But yeah, tomorrow, let's get ready.
And to be very more realistic, I'm better off doing the development and managing the development work, because I think that's going to probably make you guys more happy. Because I mean, the more time I spend developing, it's probably going to be better for all of you.
Sounds good, buddy.
So anyway,
Thank
I
you
like
very
to
much for.
anyway. Thanks a lot to everybody
Yeah.
showing up. I mean, it's a project that I've been envisioning for a very long time, and the fact that so many of you have showed up gives me a lot of encouragement. Fills me with a lot of gratitude and a lot of hope and a lot of responsibility. So I hope first I like to thank all of you for coming and spending time with us, and hopefully I can deliver a great product for all of you, and turn it into a success for all of us.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank you,
welcome.
Vijay.
Yeah,
All right,
take care.
see you guys tomorrow. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
tomorrow.
Bye.